Hello, how are you all doing? I hope that you're doing really, really well. We are about to embark on the week 9 lesson, which will be lesson 13. I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is happy. Things are starting to get a little bit more normal. I'm hoping that, in the summer we will get back to even more of a sense of normalcy. Here's hoping. I miss all of your faces. I'm sorry that we can't say goodbye to one another face to face. But you know, we definitely have gone through this together, and I'm really, really proud of all of you who continued to stay the course and kept on swimming, even when it was upriver. So you guys have done really well, and I want to commend you on that. A couple of notes. One is that you should be receiving a phone call soon in the next week or so about cleaning out your lockers. You will be asked to come in on a certain day according to your last name in alphabetical order. And then you will please make sure that you bring any library books or books that are the schools, if you have them at home at that point too, because you can hand them back in. I do not know the plan for Chromebooks yet, so you'll just have to stay the course on that one because we still have this week and next week isn't due until June 12th. So they may ask for the Chromebooks back after that, but I'm not sure. Let's see. I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and share this screen, and I'm going to go to our lesson for this week. All right, here we go. Subunit 2, Raising in the Sun, and we're going to go all the way down to lesson 13, which is entitled Let Me Tell You. And we are going to go to tab 2, and that is entitled Discuss What Happened to the Money. All right, in this scene, okay, this is the scene that we've already read. It goes back to when Mama is talking to Walter and saying that she's been doing the same thing that the rest of the world's been doing. So I'm going to give you that money, and this is what I want you to do. Her instruction was, there's a reason why they're asking you to do this. It says, Mama gave Walter specific instructions on what he should do with the money. Drag two choices that best match Mama's instructions. He told him down here, I can find it, that I paid the man $3,500 down on the house. That leaves $6,500. Monday morning, I want you to take this money and take $3,000 and put it in a savings account for Beneatha's medical schooling. So letter A, put $3,000 aside for Beneatha's schooling is one of the answers. Okay. The rest, you put it into a checking account with your name on it. And from now on, any penny that comes out or goes in is for you to look after it. This is sort of tricky because they have opened a checking account for Beneatha, but that's not what it's for. They have put $6,500 in a savings account until Mama gives them further instructions. That's definitely not it. And open a savings account for his family. That is tricky. It really is letter C, where it says put $3,500 in a checking account and manage it on his own. So it's not specifically said that it was 3,500, but remember, she said she had 6,500 total, put 3,000 away. Well, after you put 3,000 away for Beneatha, you have $3,500 left. So the answers to that are A and C. Now we're going to go to tab 3. In tab 3, it is entitled Work Out Loud. What does Walter really mean? Okay, this is about his quote. The money is made out of my father's flesh. Okay, all right, so obviously we're not going to have a discussion in class because we are not in class. Okay, but you can think about the last line and think about to whom is Walter saying these words, exactly what did Walter do and why did he do it? Okay, so he's saying these words to everyone, to Bobo, to Willie. Okay, even though Willie's not there because Willie took the money, he can't believe that all this money is gone. Okay, he gave the money to Willie in order to start this business, to get a liquor license. He did it because he thought that that was the best thing to do, that he would make a lot of money and everybody would be on easy street. Okay, so what do these words really mean? Okay, so you're going to start out with this sentence starter. The words, that money is made out of my father's flesh, really mean what? And think about this. It's really about his dad worked all of his life, didn't get the things and where he wanted to go. He wasn't able to do more than what he already did and stay in that apartment. He toiled and toiled all his life, and then when he died, this is the money that he gets for his life. That's the $10,000. So that's really what this is all about. Okay. So when you write on that, just think about how to say that. Okay, now we're going to go to tab 4. In tab 4, the character that you're following, please click Benita, Mama, Ruth, or Walter. Highlight the lines that show how your character reacts to the loss of the money. Okay, so this is where I'm going to read to you because this is the part where we have not read yet so that you understand what is going on. Walter turns madly as though he's looking for Willie. Willie, don't do it. Please don't do it. Man, not with that money. Man, please, not with that money. Oh, God, don't let it be true. He's wandering around, crying out for Willie and looking for him or perhaps for help from God. Man, I trusted you. I put my life in your hands. Man, that money is made out of my father's flesh. Bobo says, Walter, I had my life staked in this deal too. And Bobo leaves. Mama says, son, is it gone? Son, I gave you $6,500. Is it gone, all of it, beneath his money too? Walter lifts his head. Mama, I never went to the bank at all. Mama, not wanting to believe him. You mean your sister's school money? You used that too, Walter? Yes, all of it. It's all gone. There's total silence. Ruth stands with her face covered with her hands. Benita leans forlornly against the wall, fingering a piece of red ribbon from the mother's gift. Mama stops and looks at her son without recognition, then, quite without thinking, starts to beat him senselessly in the face. Benita goes to them and stops it. Benita says, Mama. Mama stops and looks at both of her children and rises slowly and wanders aimlessly away from them. Mama says, I've seen him night after night come in and look at that rug, and then look at me, the red showing in his eyes, the veins moving to his head. I've seen him grown thin and old before he was 40, working like somebody's old horse killing himself. And you give it all away in a day? She raises her arms to strike him again. Mama, Benita says, oh God, look down here and show me the strength. Benita says, Mama. Strength, Mama says. Mama, Benita says. Strength, Mama says. Okay, so highlight the lines that how your character reacts to this. Okay, so if it were Ruth, obviously you're going to highlight the part where it says that she's covering her hands. If it's Walter, you're going to highlight the part where he says that money is made out of my father's flesh. If it's Mama, I would definitely do this line. Paragraph 237, line 1, and all that Mama says, where she talks about remembering what Big Walter was like and what he did, killing himself over working. If it's Benita, I would look for the part where it describes what she is doing. Okay, that would be, let's see. Let me look for that. Total silence. Benita leans forlornly against the wall, fingering a piece of red ribbon for the mother's gift. That would be definitely something that I would highlight to show that that's how that character reacted. So we've gone through every single one of those characters. Okay. Now we're going to go to the wrap up. And this is where, based on what you know about your character, you're going to describe the action, what action you think that they will take now that the money is gone. Okay. So here's the sentence starter. Now that the money is gone, I think, and then put your character will, and then explain why. Please use race in this, restate, answer, and give examples. So that example that I highlighted for Mama in tab 4, I would use, okay? The example that you highlight for Walter, where he says that money's made out of my father's flesh, you would use, okay? And you would explain why, okay? That has anything to do with what you think they're gonna do now, okay? So now we're gonna go to the exit ticket. What is the figurative meaning behind Walter's statement that money is made out of my father's flesh? Is it the money is the amount paid by the life insurance company? Letter B says the loss of money is a loss like the death of his father. Letter C says the money represents his father's life of sacrifices and hard work. And letter D says the money represents Walter's hope to have a job like his father. Please pick the correct one and then go down to number 2. In number 2, the highlighted spot is where Mama's words are, and she describes how he toiled and toiled all of his life for just the amount that he got, and it represents how he made a lot of sacrifices and he worked hard. So, okay, so this is the part where you would put that's how Mama's words, okay, how do they describe what the correct answer is up here? How do Mama's words support the idea that that quote represents, that money represents his father's life and sacrifices? Okay, does that make sense? All right, so now we're going to go to tab 7, which is the solo. And we are going to read this passage. Okay, this is the passage that we have not gotten to. It starts the Act 3 after all this has happened. Okay, and it's an hour later. A curtain. At the curtain, when the curtain comes up in the play, there is a sullen light of gloom in the living room, gray light not unlike that which began the first scene in Act 1. At last we can see Walter within his room alone with himself. He's stretched out on the bed, his shirt out and open, his arms under his head. He does not smoke, he does not cry out. He merely lies there looking up at the ceiling, much as if he were alone in the world. In the living room, Benita sits at the table, still surrounded by the now almost ominous packing crate. She sits looking off. We feel that this is a mood struck perhaps an hour before, and it lingers. Full of the empty sound of profound disappointment, we see on a line from her brother's bedroom the sameness of their attitudes. Presently, the bell rings and Benita rises without ambition or interest in answering. It's Asakayi, smiling broadly, striding into the room with energy and happy expectation and conversation. He says, I came over, I had some free time. I thought I might help with the packing. I like the look of packing crates. A household in preparation for a journey. It depresses some people, but for me, it is another feeling. Something full of the flow of life. You understand? Movement, progress. It makes me think of Africa. Africa? Benita says. What kind of mood is this? Have I told you how deeply you move me? Asakayi says. He gave away the money, Asakayi. Who gave away what money? The insurance money, my brother gave it away. Gave it away, Asakayi says. He made an investment with a man even Travis wouldn't have trusted with his most worn out marbles. And it's gone. Gone. I'm very sorry. And you now, me, I'm nothing. Me, when I was very small, we used to take our sleds out in the winter time, and the only hills we had were the ice-covered stone steps of some houses down the street. And we used to fill them in with snow and make them smooth and slide down them all day. And it was very dangerous, far too steep. And sure enough, one day a kid named Rufus came down too fast and hit the sidewalk, and we saw his fleece just split open right there in front of us. And I remember standing there looking at his bloody open face, thinking that was the end of Rufus. But the ambulance came and they took him to the hospital and they fixed the broken bones and they sewed it all up. And the next time I saw Rufus, he just had a little line down the middle of his face. I never got over that. What? Asagai says. That what was one person could do for another. Fix him up, sew up the problem, make him all right again. That was the most marvelous thing in the world. I wanted to do. I always thought it was the one concrete thing in the world that a human being could do. Fix up the sick, and make them whole again. This was truly being God. Wanted to be God? No, I wanted to cure. It used to be so important to me. I wanted to cure. It used to matter. I used to care. I mean, about people and how their bodies hurt. And you stopped caring? Yes, I think so. Why? Because it doesn't seem deep enough, close enough to what ails mankind. It was a child's way of seeing things, or an idealist. Asagi says, children see things very well sometimes, and idealists even better. Benita says, I know that's what you think, because you are still where I left off. You with all your talk and dreams about Africa. You still think you can patch up the world, cure the great sore of colonialism with the penicillin of independence. Yes, Asagayi says. Independence and then what? What about all the crooks and thieves and just plain idiots who will come into power and steal and plunder the same as before? Only now they'll be black and do it in the name of the new independence. What about them? So what she's saying is, even though everything, like you're going to work towards independence, in Africa, you're going to work towards being equal in the United States. Even then, what's going to happen? Your own brother and sister, the people that are in your culture, are going to turn around and rob you and do things. So why even bother? Asagayi says that will be the problem for another time. First, we must get there. And where does it end? Benita says. End? Who even spoke of an end to life, to living? An end to misery, to stupidity. Don't you see there isn't any real progress, Asagayi? There's only one large circle that we march in, around and around, each of us with our own little picture in front of us, our own little mirage that we think is the future. That is a mistake, Asagayi. What? What you just said about the circle, it isn't a circle. It is simply a long line, as in geometry, one that reaches into infinity. And because we cannot see the end, we also cannot see how it changes. And it is very odd. But those who see the changes, who dream, who will not give up, are called idealists. And those who see only the circle, we call them the realists. Benita says, Asagayi, while I was sleeping in that bed in there, people went out and took the future right out of my hand. Nobody asked me. Nobody consulted me. They just went and changed my life. Was it your money? What? Was it your money he gave away? It belonged to all of us. But did you earn it? Would you have had it at all if your father had not died? No. Then isn't there something wrong in a house in a world where all dreams, good or bad, must depend on the death of a man? I never thought to see you like this, Elayo. Your brother made a mistake, and you were grateful to him so that now you can give up this ailing human race on account of it? You talk about what good is struggle, what good is anything. Where are we all going, and why are we all bothering? And you cannot answer it, Benita says. I live the answer, shouted Asagayi. In my village, at home, it is the exceptional man who can even read a newspaper, or who ever sees a book at all. I will go home, and much of what I will have to say will seem strange to the people of my village. But I will teach and work, and things will happen slowly and swiftly. At times, it will seem that nothing changes at all, and then again, the sudden dramatic events which make history leap into the future, and then quiet again. Retrogression, even. Guns, murder, revolution, and I even will have moments when I wonder if the quiet was not better than all that death and hatred. But I will look about my village at the literacy and disease and ignorance, and I will not wander long. And perhaps I will be a great man. I mean, perhaps I will hold on to the substance of truth and find my way always with the right course. And perhaps for it, I will be butchered in my bed some night by the servants of the empire. Oh, the martyr, Benita says. Asagai smiles. Or perhaps I shall live to be a very happy old man, respected and esteemed in my new nation, and perhaps I shall hold office, and this is what I'm trying to tell you, Elia. Perhaps the things I believe now for my country will be wrong and outmoded, and I will not understand and do terrible things to have things my way or merely to keep my power. Don't you see that there will be young men and women, not British soldiers then, but my own black countrymen to step out of the shadows some evening and slit my then useless throat? Don't you see they have always been there? That they will always be, and that such a thing as my own death will be in advance. They who might kill me even actually replenish all that I was. Oh, Asagai, I know. Okay, so what he's saying is maybe in this line that he can't see the future, that if he becomes a great man, that power will go to his head and then he'll become corrupt. And then the very people that come out of the woodwork that are his, people in his culture will kill him so that things will get better. Like you don't know what's going to happen in the future, but it's all about progression. It's all about learning. It's all about growing into something else. It really is all about change. Change is always happening. Okay. Asagai says, good. Stop moaning and groaning and tell me what you plan to do. Do? I have a bit of a suggestion, Asagai says. That when it is all over, that you come home with me. Benita stares at him. Oh, Asagai, at this moment you decide to be romantic. Asagai says, my dear young creature of the New World, I do not mean across the city. I mean across the ocean. Home, to Africa. Africa? Yes. 300 years later, the African prince rose up out of the seas and swept the maiden back across the middle passage over which her ancestors had come. To Nigeria? Nigeria. Home. I will show you our mountains and our stars, and give you cool drinks from gourds, and teach you the old songs and the ways of our people. And in time, we will pretend that you have only been away for a day. Say that you'll come. He swings her around and takes her full in his arms in a kiss which precedes the passion. Benita pulls away suddenly. You're getting me all mixed up. Why? Too many things, Benita says. Too many things have happened today. I must sit down and think. I don't know what I feel about anything right this minute. She promptly sits down and props her chin on her fist. Asagai, charmed. All right, I shall leave you. No, don't give up. Get up. Just sit a while and think. Never be afraid to sit a while and think. He goes to the door and looks at her. How often I have looked at you and said, ah, so this is what the new world has finally wrought. He exits. Benita sits alone, and presently Walter enters from his room and starts to rummage through things feverishly looking for something. She looks up and turns. Yes, just look at what the new world hath wrought. Just look. She gestures. There he is, Monsieur le Petit Bourgeois Noir himself. There he is, symbol of a rising class entrepreneur, titan of the system. Walter ignores her. He frantically and destructively looking for something and hurling things to the floor and tearing things out of their place in search. Benita ignores the eccentricity of his action and goes on with a monologue. Did you dream of yachts on Lake Michigan, brother? Did you see yourself on that great day sitting down at the conference table surrounded by all the hot, mighty, bald-headed men in America, all halted, waiting, breathless, waiting for your pronouncement on industry? waiting for you, chairman of the board. Walter finds that he is looking for a small piece of white paper and pushes it in his pocket and puts on his coat and rushes out without having looked at her. She shouts, I look at you and I see the final triumph of stupidity in this world. The door slams and she returns to just sitting quietly. Ruth says, who was that? Your husband. Where did he go? Who knows? Maybe he has an appointment at U.S. Steel. Ruth anxiously, you didn't say nothing bad to him, did you? Bad? Say anything bad to him? No, I told him he was a sweet boy and full of dreams and everything strictly peachy keen as the Ofe kids say. Mama enters from her bedroom. She's lost in vague trying. She's lost, vague, trying to hold to make some sense of her former command of the world, but still eludes her. A sense of waste overwhelms her gait. A measure of apology rises on her shoulders. She goes to her plant, which has remained on the table, looks at it, picks it up, and takes it to the windowsill and puts it outside. She stands to look at it a moment, then closes the window, straightens her body with effort, and turns around. Well, ain't a mess in here, though, a false cheerfulness. I guess we all better stop moping around and get some work done. All this unpacking and everything we got to do. Ruth raises her head slowly in the response to the sense of the line, and beneath it, in similar manner, turns very slowly to look at her mother. One of you all better get a call to moving people and tell them not to come. Ruth says, tell them not to come? Of course, baby. Ain't no needing them coming all the way here and having to go back. They charge for that, too. She sits down, fingers her brow. Lord, ever since I was a little girl, I always remember people saying, Lena Eggleston, you aim too high all the time. You need to slow down and see life a little more like it is. Just slow down some. That's what they always used to say down home. Lord, that Lena Eggleston is a high-minded thing. She'll get her due one day. No, Lena. Mama says, me and Big Walter just didn't never learn right. Ruth says, Lena, no, we gotta go. Benny, tell her. She rises and crosses beneath her with her arm outstretched. Tell her we can still move. The note ain't but $125 a month. We got 4 grown people in this house. We can work. Mama, to herself, just aim too high all the time. Ruth, turning and going to Mama. Lena, I'll work 20 hours a day in all the kitchens in Chicago. I'll strap my baby on my back if I have to and scrub all the floors in America and wash all the sheets if I have to. But we gotta move. We gotta get out of here. Mama reaches out absently and pats Ruth's hand. No. I see things differently now. Been thinking about some of the things we could do to fix this place up. I seen a secondhand bureau over on Maxwell Street just the other day that could fit right there. She points to where the new furniture might go. Ruth wanders away from her. We'd need some new handles on it and then little varnish, and it would look like something brand new. And we can put up the new curtains in the kitchen. Why, this place be looking fine. Cheer us all up so that we forget trouble ever comes. And you could get some nice screens to put up in your room on the baby's bassinet. She looks at both of them. Sometimes you just gotta know when to give up something and hold on to what you got. All right, now we're on card 3. The stage directions at the beginning of the passage describe the atmosphere as one of drop-down menu: A, hope; B, frustration; C, anger; or D, disappointment. Okay, save and go on. The question has 2 parts here. Part 1 says, beneath it compares Walter's foolishness and trusting Lily to Mama and her plants, Ruth and her curtains, Travis and his marbles, or herself and her horseback riding. So obviously it's Travis and his marbles. Why do you think Benita wanted to make that comparison? Well, think about this. Travis wouldn't take his marbles that he loves and just trust them with anybody. And they are just marbles, okay? So she's comparing Travis having more sense than Walter. Save and continue. Make sure that you use brace in that. Okay. We're going to go to card 5. As she talks to Assagai, why does Benita have a change of heart about being a doctor? She's no longer interested in school. She wants to marry Assagai. She doesn't think she would be a good doctor, or she loses hope for humanity. I've already done this. This is letter D. she does allude to the fact that why even bother? Because when you bother and you fix somebody, that person might go and be somebody that, you know, is mean and horrible and does something to somebody else. So she's lost all hope for humanity. Card 6. Asagai talks about being an idealist, which he describes as someone who, A, doesn't like money, B, will not give up, C, dislikes violence, or D, refuses to leave home. So figure that one out, save and continue, and go to card 7. In card 7, now that the money is gone, what has Mama decided to do? Do you agree or disagree with this decision? Using race, Mama has decided to not move, okay? And then you need to say whether you agree or disagree with that decision, okay? Go back to the text where Mama is talking about sometimes, right here. And you could get some nice screens. Sometimes you just gotta know when to give up some things and hold on to what you got, okay? That line right there is a prime example of what you can use as evidence to answer this question, okay? And then you're gonna hand that in. So that's it. That's it for this week. That would be, you know, week 9, and we are on a roll. So you got one more after this. I hope that you guys are all well. Stay safe, but be joyful and have a lot of belly laughs if you can every day. And love and light to all of you guys. I will see you soon.